Hey beautiful souls, I'm going to show you guys how I took my hair from this to these beautiful French curls in the color 430 because y'all, she eats. She's going to eat the world up. Starting out with a great shampoo is the foundation to not only having a clean and healthy scalp, but also a great foundation for installing your braids. Okay, so I'm going in with the Design Essentials Honey Shampoo, and I'm just getting a good scrub, getting all the product, any residue out of my hair, and I'm going to do this process twice. If I have learned nothing from my cosmetology girlies, it is that you should shampoo your hair twice. That first time is going to get all the gook and all the product off, and that second time is going to make sure everything is scrubbed and up and nice and clean. I am then following up here with the Design Essentials Rosemary and Mint Deep Conditioner because I did just take out a style before this, so I'm going to go ahead and let this deep condition, and I'm just putting it in twists, getting a good detangle, and making sure that the product is fully saturated in my hair so that she can go ahead and be fully hydrated for this braid install. I am now showing you guys the product. This is the new Spiral Switch Tokyo Kalon braiding hair. I've never used this hair before, but I'm just showing you guys what it looks like because it's very shiny and very silky, so I'm excited to show you guys how I made my French curl braids with this. And while my hair is still deep conditioning, I'm just following up with a skincare mask so that, yeah, I can kill two birds with one stone. Now, the Design Essentials said to deep condition your hair for 15 to 30 minutes, and this mask is supposed to go on for 10 minutes, so this is actually really perfect. I'll then get in and finish my shower and begin the process. And now, while I am waiting and having my timer on, I am detangling and prepping the hair, okay? One thing about French curl hair is that it needs to be wet in order for it to be easily installed because it was not separating easily like this when I first separated it. So make sure you get a good brush and some water, some conditioner, and brush it out. And in order for this process to go as fast as possible, you want to pre-separate your pieces. I am doing medium, so my pieces are going to be a size that can be braided medium. And now my timer has just went off. My hair has soaked up all of the product because those curls are looking juicy, as you can see. And my face has officially dried from the mask. So it's time to wash every single thing out. And I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Now that everything is washed out, my skin is moisturized, I'm going in with the Camille Guava cream, and I am just saturating my hair in this to keep the moisture in it while I am blow drying my hair. I like to pre-detangle everything before I blow dry it. And to seal that cream in, I'm going to go in with some herbal infused oil that I made in my kitchen. And yeah, so detangle, cream, oil, and start the blow drying process. Now, to get my hair as straight as possible, what I like to do is make sure that everything is combed and detangled first to make sure that the blow dryer can go straight through my hair. And then just hold the roots while you're blow drying your hair so that it's being stretched, because sometimes it'll be curly at the roots and straight on the ends, and you want to make sure you are stretching and getting those roots first because your ends dry faster. So going in with the blow dryer, making sure everything is detangled and holding that blow dryer on your roots so that the hair is as straight as possible. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the braiding process. I'm excited because I haven't done color in a while, and I just think this color looks so good on brown skin. So what you're going to go ahead and do is split your hair down the middle, and then you are going to split your hair vertically by your ears. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm just splitting. First you split down the middle in half vertically, and then you split it in half horizontally. Sorry about the mix-up, guys. So now that everything is sectioned and out the way, you are going to start with the back half and begin parting your rows. Now, the reason why I get my rows pretty straight is because I have a mirror in the back of me and a mirror in front of me. I actually have the tri-mirror thing. I'm going to show it on the screen right here, but this is what allows me to see every single angle of my head in the front and in the back to get those rows nice and clean. Now, because I'm a hairstylist, my rows won't be as clean as they would be on someone else, a client of mine, but we want these parts as accurate as possible. So go invest in a mirror for your DIY projects, okay? So now you're just going to go over the row as many times as you need to get it straight and to your liking, and then you're just going to braid it out the way. Okay, now this process, I will say, is kind of the hardest because you are setting the foundation. Once the foundation is set, it's easy to braid on top of it, but make sure you are taking your time with this parting process, because the pre-parting process is what's going to set the tone for your entire process, basically. So yeah, and what I like to do to help me get my parts as accurate as possible is twist it to either side to see what the row is looking like. Is it lopsided? Do I need to add some more hair to it? Do I need to take away hair from it? So twist it out the way so that you can actually see how accurate your parts are. Now, once you get to the top, this process is going to look just a tiny bit different because that top row won't be as rectangular or square, but the process is still the same, just making sure that the row is as accurate and the same size as the other rows that you have created. And yeah, and I'm telling you, once you get the hang of pre-parting your own hair, it'll become like muscle memory, and your DIY game is going to be taken to the next level. So just go ahead and keep practicing, and your rows should look like this. They should all look similarly the same size. And now that we're at the front, you can see everything. So this is, obviously the easiest part. And I like to start at the top, and you want your rows to be the exact same size. Sometimes your rows will line up with the rows in the back, sometimes they won't. But that's also another way you can get accuracy when it comes to parting and aligning them with the rows that are in the back, if it matches like your size and everything. So yep, I'm just finishing the parting in the front. I'm doing 5 rows in the front and there's 5 rows in the back because I'm going for a medium type look. And now that you are done pre-parting, you're going to take your rows out the way, except for the last 2. You're always going to take out the row before the row that you are starting on, if that makes sense, because you want to be able to move hair easily. If the row above it is braided, you could potentially snatch out hairs if your line is not as clean as you would like it. So go ahead and just take out that top row above the row that you are currently working on, okay? And because I have finer hair, I am doing 3 braids in the back because I know that the size of this plait is going to be able to hold a medium-sized braid. So make sure that the plait size is going to be able to hold the size braid that you are desiring, because you can potentially pull out your hair. Some people do 4 back there, some people do 2 back there. So I know my limit is 3 when it comes to medium-sized braids. Now, I'm not using any product on the braid down process, so I went in with the Camille Rose Guava Cream again and braided that all the way down. And right now, I'm just showing you guys how to tie your French curl braids. You want to tie every single one of them because this is going to help the hair stay and also be easier to maintain. So go ahead, and as you can see, I'm looping that hair around my finger and I am tying it through the loop, and then I split that piece in half and I do that process all over again. Okay, so go ahead and make sure they're all tied, and they should be looking like that. Again, as I mentioned, I am not doing any product on my ends because I want to keep my hair as moisturized as possible. We all know the dangers of wearing synthetic hair So to go and protect your hair is what you need to do, and I am going in with a moisturizing cream on my ends to seal them with moisture. And for this look, I didn't put any bohos at the nape of my neck. I never do bohos at the nape of my neck just because you really don't see the boho curls down there, and where your neck is where the curls mostly kind of bunch up, the sweat and all of those things. So I never really do any boho pieces on the nape of my neck. Now as I go up each row, I do a little bit more of boho pieces here and there. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 boho pieces on that next row, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and you know, it go on so on and so forth. Now I could be real with y'all, because I'm a hairstylist, it's a little interesting doing my hair with some, you know, curl cream on the ends, because I'm so used to the product sitting a certain way, so it's still a little bit frizzy, but I'm all for length retention all 2025 and so on and so forth. Okay, so seal those ends with some good conditioner, you guys, because yeah, when I tell y'all it's on point, it's on point. And it's gonna be frizzy anyways. So yep, I'm just showing you guys here that you know, you add your boho pieces, you slowly take out your boho pieces to give it that volume and that depth. And you always want to braid past your hair so that when you are ready to take these down and cut them out, you are not cutting your hair. So yeah, and as I'm creeping up on each row, I cut the hair just a little bit because I want this to be as layered as possible, and I want to do as less work as possible when it comes to layering and, you know, finalizing the style. So go ahead and cut a couple of inches off of your bundles when you get to the top, because it's going to help with the layering process and you won't have much cutting to do. As you guys can see, my hair is starting to look a little bit more fuller because I have added more boho pieces at the top. This braid probably has about 5 to 6 boho pieces coming out, and I'm just pulling it out of the hair that I'm already braiding with. So make sure that you're installing each piece big enough so that when you take hair out, you know, it still has that depth and that thickness to the braid. Now, if you want to leave your baby hairs out, I definitely will advise you to leave them out ahead of time, because you will accidentally braid them up. That has happened to me before. So go ahead and just put some edge control on them, slick them out the way. You ain't got to like do them all perfect and stuff right now. Just have them slicked up out the way. And as I mentioned, once you guys get to the front, this is like gonna be the easiest. Like, you can see every single thing. And yeah, you guys, like I'm really enjoying how this is looking right now. Cause who said what? Yeah, she's already eating and we got 2 rows left. But yeah, as you guys can see, this piece is extremely short compared to the actual size that it came in. This hair was a 26 inch. And like I mentioned, you guys won't have to be Edward Scissorhands with y'all scissors trying to do all the layering. Now, I will say you will still have to layer regardless just to get it to your liking, but trimming those hairs and layering the pieces ahead of time will save you a lot of time, okay? Now, this is me just following up with my last row. Now, I should have mentioned this in the beginning of this video, but you guys, for my OG subscribers, they know that you guys bricklayer part, which means that there are no braids that should be sitting directly on top of each other. It should be staggered like brick layering. So if there is a row on top of another, then for every 2 braids, there will be 1 braid in between that braid on the bottom row. And this allows the hair to look full and more cohesive, because there are braids that are not like directly stacked on top of each other, okay? So each braid should fall in between the others. And yeah, once you guys are finished with everything, you will fully see what needs to be cut and what doesn't need to be cut. Honestly, I only braided this past my hair length so that I could have more of a weave look. So if you want that look, then go ahead and just stop braiding past your hair and it will be majority of this hair and look like a weave. And so what I'm just doing right now is starting at the bottom and giving myself this foundation because I am going for a like low waist type of look. And to properly layer, you want to go at a diagonal angle so that it is not super blunt. So I'm just taking my scissors and I'm not really like chopping at it, but I'm just stretching the hair and going in a diagonal direction so that the hair is just like shaving off, like I'm just shaving the hair off instead of cutting it. And yeah, you should get that layered look, and then you're just gonna do that to your liking. Honestly, play around with it, turn your head to the back so that you can see what everything looks like, and that is how you create your voluminous layers. Okay, so just remember to go in a diagonal angle and start with a couple pieces at a time, because once you cut, it's cut. Okay, now I'm just going to wet my hair, which is what I just did, and I'm going to apply just a little bit of cream to help the hair stay hydrated, as I mentioned earlier, and also keep it shine. French curl hair is just like any other synthetic hair, so you want to make sure that you do what you need to do to keep it shiny and as detangled as possible. And yeah, like I said, once again, just make sure that you are satisfied with your look, and it should come out something like this. Okay, you see those pieces, they're very much layered. You have the different layered looks. It gives very 70s. And honestly, this look is a 10 out of 10 for me. I would definitely do this style again. If you are a French curl girly, drop it in the comments. If you have any questions or concerns, drop it in the comments. I am here for you guys. I appreciate you guys for subscribing to my community. And yeah, like I just feel like a superstar, bad girl, video vixen with this hair. So yeah, any thoughts or anything, any comments or anything, just drop it in the comment box below. And I will see you guys in the next video, okay, on your video phone. All right, bye.